It's the return of the unicorn just in time for the Mavericks after catching a beatdown at the hands of the Memphis Grizzlies. This is the Gray Area right here on Kevin Gray Sports. My name is Kevin Gray. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for all things Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. You can catch me on your home of the Dallas Cowboys and Texas Rangers, 105.3 The Fan. The Mavericks caught a 29-point beatdown at the hands of the Memphis Grizzlies in Luka Doncic's worst game of the season, where he only scored 12 points on 4 of 16 shooting and was a negative 23 in the plus-minus category for a Mavericks team that drops to 40-29 and are now the 6th seed in the Western Conference by virtue of the fact that the Portland Trail Blazers, of course, own the season series over the Dallas Mavericks. Kyle Anderson, Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, and others made it a track meet against the Dallas Mavericks, especially in that third quarter where Ja Morant had 11 points. Also, Kyle Anderson had 10 points in that decisive third quarter where the Mavericks were outscored 73-47 in the second half to lose 133-104. But now the Mavericks turn their attention to the New Orleans Pelicans, where they are now about to see the return of one Kristaps Porzingis. In the last 10 games for the Dallas Mavericks without Kristaps Porzingis, this team is 7-3. In 40 games this year, Kristaps is averaging 20.2 points per game, 9.1 rebounds per game for this Mavericks team. Has a true shooting percentage of 58%, the best of his career up to this point. And now, with the return of Kristaps Porzingis against the New Orleans Pelicans, a critical stretch now in these last few games where they finished their season against the Pelicans and the Toronto Raptors before going on the road to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves, an opportunity to get Porzingis back acclimated to this team to continue to find rhythm and build confidence and momentum as they head toward the playoffs. The Mavericks' magic number right now remains at 2 as they try to make sure they assure themselves a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. And with the return of Kristaps Porzingis, a 20-10 guy, he is going to be needed to stretch the floor from the three-point line with his ability to shoot from the three-point line and also his ability to be a shot blocker and a rim protector when he is moving well on the defensive end. So there's a myriad of opportunity for Kristaps Porzingis to have a dramatic effect on the Mavericks and what they want to be going forward, not just for the rest of this regular season, but more importantly as you get into the playoffs, because if you were reminded of what Kristaps Porzingis was in the bubble in the playoffs against the Los Angeles Clippers, he can make a major difference in what this team's offensive makeup looks like. I asked Luka Doncic after the game, with the return of Kristaps Porzingis, how will he try to ensure that he continues to get Kristaps Porzingis reacclimated to a team that's been playing pretty good without him? Here's what Luka Doncic had to say.
Hey, Luka, with Kristaps scheduled to come back tomorrow, how do you feel like you'll be able to get him acclimated back into the swing of things after missing the last several games as far as the offense is concerned?
Just the way we used to play before. But I think our problem right now is on defense, and we got to guard better. So if we play good defense, we're going to play good offense.
So Luka Doncic saying, look, we're going to play as we were playing before when Kristaps Porzingis was in the lineup. And more importantly, we've got to get better defensively after they gave up 133 points to the Memphis Grizzlies, who felt like they owed the Mavericks one after Luka Doncic and the Mavericks stole one back on April 14th with that epic buzzer beater to steal one in Memphis. So the Grizzlies came out with a lot of fervor, with a lot of intensity, and they were going to make sure that as they continue to make their own playoff run toward the end of this regular season to try and make them a viable contender for that play-in tournament, that they handed the Mavericks a loss, and that's exactly what they did. An overall poor performance from the Mavericks in that game against the Memphis Grizzlies, but more importantly, the Memphis Grizzlies found themselves competing in the way that they felt they should have beat the Mavericks the first time when Luka Doncic stole one at the buzzer from them. So now as you spin this forward, this is an opportunity for Kristaps Porzingis, who, ironically, coming back against the New Orleans Pelicans, had his best game of the season. If you remember, back when the Mavericks dropped 143 points on the New Orleans Pelicans, Luka Doncic had 46 in that game. But Kristaps Porzingis had 36 points and went 8 of 13 from downtown. That was the apex that we've seen that those two have been on the same page for this season when they combined for those 82 points in a terrific performance. There is no Zion Williamson in this game against the New Orleans Pelicans as they take on the Pelicans, Raptors, and Timberwolves to end their season. I asked Kristaps Porzingis what it's been like for him to be on the sidelines and watching this team continue to play well without him, where he has missed 9 of the last 10 games. He came back for the one game against Detroit before ultimately leaving with the right knee soreness that has seen him be out since then. Here's what Kristaps Porzingis said about not only coming back to play with this team, but the perception that this team has been playing better without him. Here's what Kristaps Porzingis had to say.
Hey, KP, good to see you. Obviously, this team has been playing well over the last couple of weeks. For you, how difficult has it been on the sideline watching and kind of the perception of, well, this team is playing well without you? How have you handled that, or if that's something that's you've even considered?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to be out watching the games without being able to be out there and play the game I love. But it is what it is. I have to be healthy when I'm out there. I cannot be, not at 100% when I'm out there. So just was putting in a lot of work, which is not fun. Always when you're by yourself and just doing treatment and working out and lifting, it's never that as fun as being with the team, doing all the activities with the team. So, but that's when I had to lock in and be a soldier and do my work and to make sure I can be, as soon as possible practicing like today with the guys and stuff. So it's a good feeling to get back closer to being able to play. And yeah, it's good the team's playing well. That's always good. And I look forward to adding more to what we're doing right now.
So Kristaps Porzingis saying it's been tough for me, obviously, to come back and play, watching my team while waiting to come back and play while being on the sidelines. But he now has the opportunity to create the kind of momentum that the Mavericks are looking for. I'll be interested to see how he moves, especially on the defensive end. We know that he likes to get in rhythm, especially in first quarters when he's playing longer stretches in the first quarter, especially when the offensive energy is moving, when the ball is moving, and more importantly, as he continues to establish himself from the three-point line. A lot has been made about the comments that he made about playing in the offense. Kristaps Porzingis has never been shy about the fact that he likes to play at the center position where he is the trailer and the offense kind of running through him when he is at the center position. When Dallas Morning News' Brad Townsend asked him about the idea of playing the 4 versus the 5, especially the way that Dwight Powell's been playing over the last couple of weeks for the Mavericks at the center position, here is what Kristaps Porzingis had to say about playing in the offense and whether or not the 4 or 5 position suits him based on the way that Dwight Powell's been playing. Here is what Kristaps Porzingis had to say with respect to that.
Kristaps, in the last few games you had played, Dwight had been back, and when you were starting, it seemed like you were playing more power forward, which you did some of last year too. But what is kind of the biggest adjustment for you, really having to go back and forth between the two positions? How comfortable are you doing that, if that's what's needed?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, it is. I don't know. It doesn't matter as much, maybe, because me and Dwight, we talk on the court. Dwight's great, communicating stuff, and sometimes I'm the trailer, he's the trailer, and so on, and there's some. I mean, it is what it is, and we're trying to make it work, and I hope I'll have my opportunities within the offense.
So Kristaps was saying, look, it is what it is. He likes to be the trailer when it comes on the offensive end, but him and Dwight Powell communicate well with respect to how the offense works when they are in the lineup together. And give credit to Dwight Powell, who's been playing well at the 5 position, an undersized center, but his rim running and his ability to provide energy and hustle on the defensive end have really helped this Mavericks team turn things around, especially when they're playing well defensively with the ability for him to create the kind of energy that he does. Now, with the return of Kristaps Porzingis, it will be interesting to see how the offense will continue to flow. Tim Hardaway appears to be in the starting lineup to stay, and now the adjustments, now that Maxi Kleber is back, coming back from his Achilles soreness, now the return of Kristaps Porzingis. This Mavericks team is getting healthy at the right time. Now it's about generating the kind of chemistry and momentum that saw them win a stretch of 31 out of 45 games and continue to climb up the Western Conference standings. Because now in these final 3 games, to get him the kind of rhythm where Porzingis is playing on the second of a back-to-back, missing the game against Memphis, but coming home to take on the New Orleans Pelicans before they play the Toronto Raptors on Friday, now they have an opportunity to really build the kind of momentum that they desire, given what they need to do to try and ensure themselves a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. Because if they are able to do so, you not only assure yourself a top 6 seed in the West, but you also get that week off during the play-in tournament, which is additional rest for Kristaps Porzingis. So there's been debate. Maybe the Mavericks should sit out Porzingis for the rest of the regular season and then get him ready for the playoffs. Obviously, it's important for Porzingis to get back into the lineup as quickly as possible to reestablish the kind of rhythm that they've had prior to ensure that he is ready to go once you get to playoff time, because he's going to be needed for this Mavericks team. As I mentioned, he is a true unicorn when he is at his apex. Shooting the ball from 35 feet, can put the ball on the deck, unique movement for his size at 7'3", but more importantly, a wide open offense in the heliocentric offense that this Mavericks team likes to run. And it's going to be important for Porzingis to establish rhythm as quickly as possible to give the Mavericks confidence that not just for this regular season, but when you get to playoff matchups potentially against the Los Angeles Clippers or against the Denver Nuggets, that Kristaps Porzingis is at his best. In one of his best games of the season against the Denver Nuggets, he had 25 points and going 10 of 15 and 5 of 7 from downtown. A really good matchup are the Mavericks with the Denver Nuggets, and it's partly, in major part really, because Kristaps Porzingis' ability to take Nikola Jokic away from the basket. So this is an important 3 games for the Mavericks as they see the return of their unicorn in Kristaps Porzingis and what it means not just for the regular season, but how they move forward in making sure that they are making the playoff run that they believe that they can, given the talent and the roster that they have. Luka Doncic on the season, averaging nearly 28 points, 8 rebounds, and nearly 9 assists per game, welcomes the return of one Kristaps Porzingis. We'll see how it works out as these Mavericks get ready for the final 3 games of this season. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for all things Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. This has been another episode of The Gray Area. We'll talk to you later. Peace.